WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello. It is Monday at 4:00, so it must be the Community Bell Show. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you. We're always happy to have you on Mondays because we have wonderful guests who give out good information and just share history and all the wonderful things that are going on in and around our area. So we have a special guest today. A very special guest who does all sorts of things. I mean, he's a writer and producer and director and a speaker and all that good stuff. Mr. Anthony Brogdon.
Yeah.
Anthony, welcome.
Good.
Welcome back, as a matter of fact.
No
Welcome
question.
back.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
Yeah, we jammed last time.
Yes, we did. And we're going
and
to
it was all you.
Today.
It wasn't nothing to me. I just sat there.
Well, we are so glad to have you back.
Yeah.
It's Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such an important time. And, for us, it's Black History Month. It's every month. and every day.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
But for others, you know, that we
In one way
celebrate
or
it
another.
in one way or another. It's
yeah,
us.
yeah.
But we want to put special emphasis this month
That's right.
on what's going on in our community and what people are saying in our community and some of our history.
Yeah.
You are the history person.
Oh, I'm trying to be.
And you are the writer.
Yes.
We'll talk about this a little bit later, but he's got a new book.
Yes.
That's My Land.
Yes.
The History of Black Towns and Settlements.
Yeah.
You can get it.
Oh my God.
You can get it. Where can they get it?
It's getting good.
You can
I'm
get
gonna
it.
blow your mind.
You can get it. But
good Black history.
good Black
once
history.
again.
Good Black history.
Yeah.
But talk about some of the things you've been doing lately.
Oh man, it's been interesting and I'm having fun because it has really become my dedication to get this word out some form of fashion. So if I got to say, and it really didn't work out all that great, but I went to Florida 2 weeks ago and I was down there in the 30-degree weather.
You happened to be there when it was freezing.
I spoke at 2 colleges.
Did you? Which colleges did you speak at?
Flagler College in St. Augustine, and then Bethune-Cookman in Daytona
Bethune-Cookman.
Beach.
We all know Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, I toured our house.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. That after my presentation to these classrooms, I toured her house, and all of it's original and the pictures and things. You can feel the vibe when you walk in the door of greatness from that lady and what she had done with it. And that university is top notch.
Yes.
So it was pretty incredible to be there. And then after that, I spoke at a library in West Palm Beach, Florida. And it was crazy because it was so cold.
Yeah.
And I was, I didn't know people come out, and some people said they not coming. They told me point blank, it's too cold.
It's 30 degrees. We don't come out at 30.
YouTube or something.
They don't know cold.
Oh yeah,
They
it was
don't know
30.
cold.
I was like, man,
Yes,
I
a
had
heat
my
wave for
shorts
us.
on.
Yeah, that's a heat wave.
Yeah, heat wave, because it was 10 here
Mhm.
that weekend. Yeah, but nonetheless, we had about 40 people show up to
good.
hear me speak and talk about my newest book. And then after that, I got back, and then, as you said, playwright, threw my hat in to direct. They Did It at the St. Pat's Senior Center this past Thursday.
What's They Did It about? What was that about?
Oh, They Did It is about my first book, Black business book, which I got a copy right here. Hold on a second. Yeah, that book there.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's about this book, but it's 10 people.
Okay.
10 rich Black people who lived in the 1800s.
Okay.
And all the actors were seniors from the center.
Oh.
And that made it fun because we were rehearsing, and I've only directed twice. Well, really 3 times. I got 2 documentaries out. But
talk about the Black business book, because that seems to be really pertinent to what's going on today.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it is about the history of Black business in America. And, from the 1800s, enslaved folks that own businesses, and slavery would allow them to do it and make money. The first guy, and one I talk about the most, he go back to 1700s, late 1700s, Frank McHorter. And I'm going to his town. He bought his freedom of 15 others, and then bought land, got a town. So the book is about that. It's in Illinois, called New Philadelphia.
Really?
Still thriving today.
New Philadelphia, Illinois. Is that anywhere near Chicago or any of those?
No, it's on the edge.
It's on the edge.
State.
Okay.
Yeah. So
the southern edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, because he's close to the Mason-Dixon line. Let's call it, or something. Because he was enslaved in Kentucky.
Okay.
And we talk about his town in my book too. That's My Land. And so, Black Business Book talks about the Black business owners. How they would, Black folks went to college. It gives you some, look into, what races did to hurt Black people.
They're still doing.
Yeah, I throw some of that in there on everything I do. And then, but it's like 40 banks and 40 newspapers in the 1800s, early 1900s. And so it lists those. And so from that, I went to Mount Bayou, Mississippi, this past summer. And because I interviewed the guy who ran the museum on my show, if I may say, and I came down, it was Founders Day, and we had a good time. And so that led me to say, if y'all ain't heard about Mount Bayou, I know you heard about Tulsa and Greenwood.
Talk about Mount Bayou. There may be listeners who have not heard about Mount Bayou. So talk about Mount Bayou.
Man, that's my town.
Okay.
Them brothers and sisters come off of a plantation where the plantation owners say, y'all run it. Just give me my money.
Really?
Let the two guys run the place. Then they bought it from me. Slavery ended, on the land contract, lost it back. They had enough money and bought 800 acres in the town that they called Mount Bayou. And this is 1800s, and they moved all black people in there. And then they was like, and we in the Delta, we in Mississippi. Hey, white folk, don't come across that line. We got out. This is our situation, and they thrived. They had bank, and what was great, they had a zoo.
Really?
What they take pride in, they had a zoo. Them brothers and sisters was jamming.
Where is Mount Bayou physically in Mississippi?
Yeah, I flew into Memphis.
Okay.
And so it's about, I got to say, anywhere from 45 to an hour drive.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did the speed limit.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't let them catch me out
No,
where the crickets and stuff like that in Mississippi. Because it was my first time in Mississippi. So I was scared of Mississippi. I ain't gonna lie to you.
There's a place in Mississippi. You fly into Memphis and you drive to Mississippi. What's the name of the place? It's where there are casinos there.
There's Biloxi.
Biloxi.
Yeah. I never been.
And you drive into Memphis, and you fly into Memphis, and you drive to Biloxi, and you're going down this narrow road.
Oh, that's what this was like.
And then all of a sudden, it opens up into these casinos and shopping.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness! Yeah. But
yeah.
I'm trying to remember if it was Biloxi. It must have.
Biloxi has one, but I'll be honest with you. I was in New Orleans, and I was going to go to a casino in Mississippi, and I thought it was Biloxi, but
it opened up, and there was a group of they have Congressional Black Caucus every year in September.
Yeah.
Well, there's another event that the Congressional Black Caucus put on, but it's called the Educational Caucus, and it was put on in this place in Mississippi.
Yeah, I know.
Benny Thompson represented the area,
right?
And we would go there every year before we went to the Congressional Black Caucus, and it was a fantastic event they put on.
That's sweet. I love it.
And as we would fly into Memphis, and then we drive into this. I'm thinking it must have been Biloxi.
Yes, I know it's right on the edge because it's not far. If this is the same one, then it's not far.
And it's only about 40 minutes from New Orleans, rather from Memphis.
From Memphis.
From Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was we'll look that up, everybody, for all the viewers.
Yes,
we'll get that correct before the end of the show.
A great time.
Yeah.
But the Black Congress people would be there, and they had casinos, but they could only have them on the water. They had to be riverboats.
Oh, well. And
so there was a stream that's about as wide as this room, maybe a little bit wider. So they could have casinos. They called it riverboat casinos.
Really?
Yes.
That might have been cute.
It was, but it was a great time and had all the entertainment and everything that took place in that one little area.
Yeah, no, that's Mississippi. I had love in that town. Matter of fact, I'm still sticking with them. I'm on the Founders Day committee.
Is that right?
Yeah. And last year we brought in Honorable Johnny Ford out of Tuskegee. And he was our keynote speaker. And I said a few words here and there, understandably. And so led me to That's My Land. And there's so many others, amazing towns like that I want to go to because I enjoy doing this,
Well, it's going to be rewarding to when you learn about all of these places that you don't hear traditionally in major media.
Sure.
But they're there.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to have you here to talk about some of these places.
Man, I got a few of them up my sleeve.
That our guests know about and talk about.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to end on one here in Michigan that we all do know about. That I talk about in the book. But that Frank McHorter guy, that New Philadelphia, that's a big one. Not big, but there were a lot of them across the Ohio and Indiana border because it was close to the southern states. At one point, Philadelphia had more free blacks than any place in America because it wasn't too far. And then the Quaker community was down there helping them, remain their freedom if under whatever circumstances. That was huge. They had districts all in Philadelphia. There was movements out of the South. One called the Exodusters movement, which went from whatever part of the South to Kansas. That's
Okay.
why there's a lot of towns in Kansas. And then, my man John, and I got to say my man, a white guy, John Brown, was fighting hard on their behalf. That's Kansas. And so they moved all throughout and built communities in Kansas. And then this is a crazy story. The Indians, understandably, were the first people here in America.
Yes,
Native American.
Really
That's
their
Indian.
land. It's
That's
really,
what they are.
it's really
That's
their
who they
land.
are.
And we are the immigrants.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
anybody needs to be chased out,
Yeah.
it's some white folks who came over and stole their land.
Right.
They're the
Right.
culprits.
The
But
Indian was all
we're going to talk about that today.
and all over America. And check this out. So the government back in the 1800s said, okay, we want your land. Y'all got to leave. And made them walk from South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way to Oklahoma. They call it the Trail of Tears. I talk about that in the book. It's an amazing story. A lot of them lost their lives. I mean, you're talking walking 1,000 miles, and over the months, it got cold in some places. There was some black folks went with them. Some of them was married to the Indian women. Some were enslaved by the Indians. So they get out to Oklahoma and say, hey, it's a wrap. This look like it's free territory. I'm out of here. And that's how Tulsa came in, Boley, Renniesville, and a whole bunch. I mean, at one point, Oklahoma had over 50 black towns. They was throwing down in Oklahoma.
And that's why they had Black Wall Street.
Yeah, that was it. It was a black guy named O.W. Gurley who kind of said, hey, let's go to this town because it had some oil on it, too. I've been there. There was an oil well. That thing was just steadily turning in this guy's backyard.
Wow.
But what's crazy about it, he said he didn't get any of the money because the Indians still own the rights. But he bought the land. He got the land up to that, and I'm sure there were other blacks. But that was a Tulsa story. And Tulsa was not the biggest black community in Oklahoma. Oklahoma City was. But Tulsa's known for what happened on the 1929. That massacre that happened. Yeah. So that's how and then the movies brought it into focus and so on and so forth. And then Texas is known for their black communities because a lot of slavery was on that island of Galveston. And I said island. Did y'all catch that, everybody?
I heard you.
Yeah, because I didn't know it was an island. I thought it was some city or something down there.
So Galveston is an island?
Yeah.
Okay.
You fly into Houston and you drive about 40 minutes and there's a little inlet thing. I think I know they built it.
You're driving west or east towards New Orleans when you drive?
No, you're driving towards the ocean.
You're driving south?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the southern tip. They were bringing them enslaved folks from Cuba.
Okay.
Then they were doing the cotton and stuff pretty heavy there. And I've been there too. I talk about that. There's a settlement there called 1887 settlement. 4 black families started this spot. And it grew. And it's their community in on the island of Galveston.
And they're still there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And some of the families are. Yeah, they're descendants. There were black folks who had beaches. Frederick Douglass, his son, started his own beach called Highland Beach in Maryland.
Really?
Yeah. Frederick Douglass' son. I mean, he runs down the line. He's a bad dude, too. And then there's a black guy, Abraham Lincoln Lewis in Florida. He was a wealthy black guy in the early 1900s, insurance man. And he bought an island. He made an island called America Beach.
And where is that? What is that?
It's somewhere along that, the coast of not far from like Daytona Beach and that kind of
Does
thing.
it still exist?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
And the black people still have it?
Oh, sure. Yeah, America Beach. There's others. Let me give you another one. There's one out in California called Allensworth. And of all the towns that I found, and I chronicle in that book, it's over 150 of them. This is the only one that them white folks didn't do something to hurt.
Really?
Yeah, and that was only because my man who found it used to be in the Army. Yeah, this old set of guns.
He was protected.
And everybody who lived in this town had guns. They said them people up in the hills up there, and it's cold too. Shoot, man, they left Allensworth alone. That was the only one. I couldn't believe it. I was like, because all of them, man. Give you an example. Dulles Airport in D.C., that used to be a town called Willard, Virginia, a black community.
Really?
Yeah, they flooded it. And it not flooded, they just built it, they tore it down, told y'all got to leave, and they built that airport. Y'all heard of Lake Lanier in Georgia, right? That used to be Oscarville, Georgia. Thriving community, brothers and sisters jamming. Yeah. They had to build a lake somewhere that, the big city of Atlanta was coming in board. I'm sure they had some reasoning, but it didn't have to be that community, I'm sure. Like so much other stuff that happened. It doesn't have to be us.
Yes, it does, because they think they can do that.
Yeah,
and get away with it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They can do it with no repercussions.
Sure. They did.
And that's exactly
they built that lake, and now people, and it's crazy. I hear the lake is haunted. Oh, seriously. I bet you they'll tell you that they got more deaths in that Lake Lanier, than anything in the country.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't just trying to make a joke out of it.
It really is.
They do believe there's a lot of stuff that happens at Lake Lanier.
And Lake Lanier is
40 minutes outside of Atlanta. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because Atlanta, it's dry.
There's
no water, so they got that lake and they go up there. It's big enough to boat on. I never been. I used to live in Atlanta for 5 years. I never did make it, but it is a spot, and I'm sure brothers and sisters probably go up there and take advantage of it too. But that used to be a town.
Wow.
And there's a ton of stories like that. And what they did, there was some black folks that had gotten their freedom. The enslaver in his will let them go, right? And gave them some money and said, okay, now y'all leave here and go to Ohio. Like I said, Ohio was big. Go to Ohio. They had the land picked out. They had the money. When the black folks got there, the white folks said, nah, we ain't selling it to you. You got to leave. And then they floundered for about 5-6 years and then ended up developing about 4 or 5 towns in Ohio.
Wow.
Allenstown, Randallstown, Rossville. Yeah, place like, pockets in that Ohio area. And it's amazing stories like that. I even talk about some neighborhoods. I got to do that. I can't have a book like this. Don't shout out Harlem. What I mean? And Harlem was just a neighborhood. It wasn't and I doubt if many blacks own land in Harlem, but I got to mention them in the book.
That's right.
That land was expensive even then.
And then now it's even more expensive.
Oh, yeah. But what's the crazy story about Harlem is that it was built for white people, because white people coming out of that Manhattan area wanted a little vacation spot not far. And as you see, it's on the edge, it's up some streets. And back in them days, horse and buggies.
That was a long way.
Yeah, a little way. So, and that's why so many buildings are elegant. And then they couldn't find white people, depression, in the economy. And this one black guy who was a real estate guy, he did it. He came up here and told the white people, said, hey, I can rent out these places. They even chopped them up. That's why some are so small. And rented them to black people. And it was a black guy, Philip Payton is his name, who's a real estate guy. So I talk about that in the book. Got some black bottom, no doubt. Here in Detroit.
Can't leave black bottom out.
Yeah,
that's where I was born.
And not live here.
That's right.
Still live here.
Trinity
and
Hospital.
It only makes sense.
On Burner Highway. That's where I was born. So I know black bottom.
Yeah. I talk about that. That's the neighborhood, Auburn Avenue in Atlanta. 4th Ward in Houston. There used to be a Deep Bellum in Dallas. These are all black neighborhoods across America that we and one of the things I say is that we wanted to be free and have our own safety and govern ourselves and have our own customs and stuff like that. I go back this far though. There was a black guy in 1621. Anthony Johnson. What happened was the Pilgrims came here on that Mayflower, right?
Okay.
That's how America was founded by the British. They the Pilgrims was a religious
stuff that wasn't theirs too.
Yeah. But it was a religious set over in London, and people didn't like it, however they were doing, and they wanted more freedom. Said, hey, go to the new country, come to America. There was a black guy on the boat named Anthony Johnson. This is 1600. The brother gets here because he's an indentured servant, meaning that I can't pay my own way. So if you sponsor me to go, I'll work for you for 4 years for free. You still got to feed me when I get there, though. You know what I mean? Because I'm working for you. I ain't getting no other income, which is, I guess, not a bad deal. So they do it from 4 to 7. And and so then he gets his freedom, and then he gets enough money, and he sponsors 5 people. And so doing that, he gets 50 acres for each person. He got 250 acres in 1621, everybody. Ooh. Yeah. How about this story? My man just put up saying, hey, man, why don't you tell this one? There is black folks who were enslaved that they had to escape, right? And
Mhm.
they found a way to run to the woods. They call them maroon community. And what was happening is it was so dense in there and alligators and whatever,
Yeah.
trees and all that. The white folks said, we ain't coming in there to look for y'all.
Yeah.
And they made communities.
Okay.
And it was whole territories. It was like 1 million acres up near Virginia.
Hmm.
This is called the Great Dismal Swamp. There's about 3 of them that they talk about that Black folks fled to. So I put that in the book because they own that land. And you ain't coming here to get it from us.
Yeah.
At least
Do you
as
know if
we
they
claimed
still
it.
own it?
It's probably over time and what they did. Understand? Well, I'm sure with slavery they cut down them trees and started building houses and making communities. And so a lot of that is probably developed area because it's in beautiful swampland.
Yeah.
That they can dredge it and
And make it livable.
Yeah, make it very livable. So there's that institution. And one of them that really was a swampy area was Rosewood, Florida.
Okay.
That's what it is. And it was some Black folks that got there because it was a lumber mill in town. And that's why a lot of people lived there. And so a lot of Black folks came and they lived in Rosewood. And since you got me on the point of Rosewood, that brother ain't even touched that sister. And he was the fall guy because she was married. I know it's a Christian radio. I should
talk about it. Talk about it. It's history.
I just looked up and saw the sign.
That's all right. It's history.
Talk
about it. Talk about
it's crazy. He wasn't even there. She was fooling around on her husband with another guy. Husband kind of maybe got wind of it. She used the brother's name.
Yeah. But it wasn't even the brother. She just used it.
Yeah.
Because she knew that they'd kill him.
But again, now the other thing is, and we don't talk about this, like even in Tulsa, them brothers and sisters shot back though. We just got outmanned.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We ain't just taking this line down.
No.
It took a couple of days for them to come through Rosewood.
And they had to start dropping them from the sky.
Yeah, that's Tulsa. Yeah, and
Tulsa.
even in that instance, it took a few days. We ain't just lying down. Yeah, we got some guns too in the community. So
yeah, we got a few.
Yeah. No, there's no question. And the bomb in Tulsa probably was because they were losing.
That's
this
right.
is our
That's
neighborhood.
Right.
We know where to hide out. Guerrilla warfare almost maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's Rosewood. That's their story. And it's there's a guy now who has bought that land.
Really?
Yeah, he's preserving and have festivals there. And all these towns that I talk about, I even tell you if they still exist, some of them don't. People moved away for one reason, better job someplace. Didn't want to live on the farm. Most of them are farming communities. They very rural areas. And
the children didn't want to carry on the rural lifestyle, didn't want to do the farming and all of that kind of thing, I'm sure.
I'm sure you got a lot of that. But let me tell you, I had talked about one town called Phillips in South Carolina. And I interviewed a guy on my show whose great-great-grandfather was one of the first, residents of this community from enslavement. And he's still there. So he's about 5th, 6th generation.
Where is that in comparison to
it's not far from Charlotte.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Not far from Charlotte. No. Charleston. I'm sorry. 2 C's.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Charleston.
Okay.
It's not far from Charleston because I want to go check it out. And he says that what happens though is so people start selling their property and white folks come in, gentrification, they building these big homes, right? 2 things happen. One is to make that home sturdy in terms of being islandly and mushy grass. They do something to elevate the bottom of the house, which then makes the water drain down to the houses that are at their normal feet. So they got a lot of flooding problems.
So they flood at the bottom.
Yeah, and that's the Black folks.
Of course.
They got a lot of problems, and they feeling that because they, the white folks, they're getting at the prime locations anyway. And what's left is neighborhoods somewhere here and there. And then the other thing is, she said, okay, now my house, this is what the guy tell me, my house is worth $800,000. I don't want to sell it. So I got to pay tax on $800,000. And that's where the tax thing comes in. Yeah, and he says that's what's killing a lot of them. Moving out and taking advantage of that lump sum money too.
Exactly.
In the sale, which I can understand that. I can understand that perspective.
I can understand that.
So we talk about all that in the book. That's my land. And what's crazy, I had somebody ask me, they said, why you title it that? I don't know why. It just makes sense.
That's my land.
That's my land because they owned it. They paid money for it. I'm talking about from enslavement. They paid money for it. Some of them was granted the land. There were different policies called the homestead policy.
Mm-hmm.
It was a ton of free land out in California and Oklahoma and New Mexico, all out that Western territory. And they said, well, if you come out here, we'll give you some land.
They were giving land away.
Yeah, that's the homestead.
That's right.
So,
the homestead,
some brothers and sisters took advantage of that too and moved out in some of them places. I mean, I found a town in South Dakota, North Dakota. Yeah, all just, little small pockets though, because a lot of them had policy, we ain't going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You ain't just coming out and saying it's mine. Yeah, we don't like you black. Hey, this ain't the right spot.
There's an area in near Myrtle Beach.
Yep.
That was owned by Black folks. And I only know this because my daughter and her family went vacationing there one year, and they were driving and they drove and found this, and looked up in this. What is this area?
Yeah.
And they ran into a guy who lived there, and he gave them the history that this was all owned by Black people.
Yeah.
Right they had beach land and everything.
It might have been Phillips if it was in South Carolina, because Phillips is not far from Hilton Heads and that kind of place. South Carolina.
It could have been, but I'm not sure what the name of it was. But they ran to this guy who gave them this whole history of this particular area, right next to Myrtle Beach, was owned by Black folks.
Yeah, that might be the same one.
And they had the beaches and the whole thing.
Yeah.
They had not been able to develop it as much as Myrtle Beach, of course.
Oh, for sure.
But they still owned it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he talked about how they were trying to sell it, people trying to buy it from him, and they were refusing to sell.
Yeah.
So that's still going on today.
Oh, yes. No question. Yeah, there's a ton of little communities. There's Pea Island. It's off the coast of Georgia. Never heard of it.
No.
But it's a little small community like that. I went to St. Helena Island. And the other thing I talk about in the book, just tad mentioned in all these communities, was that a lot of times when they were enslaved Black folks, let me correct myself, everybody, but enslaved Black folks, that they would, when the North Troop came through and wiped out during the Civil War, they had to find places to live. And so they lived a lot of them coastal island areas, sea islands, they call them. And so St. Helena is one of those communities. And one of the oldest schools in America is in that community called the Penn Center.
I do know about the Penn Center. Yes, I had a friend who used to work there.
Oh, really?
Yes, and this has been, many years ago. But he worked at the Penn Center, and that was just an incredible spot. An absolutely incredible spot.
Yes. Yeah, I've been there twice. Yeah,
and then not far from the Penn Center, there's a group of people. The name escapes me. They were Black folks, but they were. Oh, what's the name of the group?
And where were they?
They're not far from the Penn Center. There was a little island area, and they were right along.
Gullah Geechee. We got it, everybody. I was gonna say that one.
Yes, Gullah Geechee.
That's the moral of the story. That's who they are. That culture is incredible.
Yes, that's the one.
I go to their festival.
Yes,
everybody, y'all should meet me. It's called the Original Gullah Geechee Festival in Beaufort.
Yes,
I went last year.
Yes,
it was popping.
That's it.
Oh yeah, that was hitting. And then Friday night is an all-white party outside, right off against the canal area. Real nice. And I did the stomp. What's the stomp? Something?
What's
the song?
The stomp, whatever that is.
Stomp your feet. What's it called? Stomp. Yeah, no, stomp the flag with the hand flag.
Oh, the flag thing.
Man. Man, I learned that dance that night. I was throwing down. They was staring at me like, you're not from here.
That's it. Gullah Geechee, yes. I used to work with a young lady who grew up, whose family is there and grew up there.
Oh, really?
And she was really quite amazing.
Yes. That's all that history you got to know. And like I say, that's why I write the books. And the thing about it is, everybody, I ain't gonna lie to you. I just write it simply. I don't give you a lot of commentary.
Okay.
I just give you the fact. Okay. Yeah. I just tell you this happened. This is, in order or something. In the first book, I even number them.
Oh, wow.
I just don't even cut to the chase. I don't do it as much in the second book at all, even. But I number them, say this is what happened. These are the towns, and they're all over America. in Alabama and South Carolina, there were towns. And I even said, how could there be a black town during slavery in the South?
Yeah.
And I found some of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Black towns during slavery in the
In the
South.
South. And these towns still existed.
Yeah. Somehow there was one of them that the enslaver gave them 2,000 acres and told nobody, told everybody to leave them alone.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
The slave was still alive. And now, generosity out of her heart. It's in the book.
No, wasn't generosity, it was guilt.
Okay.
It was probably guilt.
I know they felt generous. Sure, we got our own situation. It's like 2,000 of them. Some town. And I got that one in the book and a bunch of others, amazing stories like that they had done too. And that's how we got the land. Someone like saying we had the money, we bought it in tax sales and stuff like that. The 1910s was really the height of black land ownership.
Really?
Yeah. That was the height of it to about 1940. And
wow.
then it started, different things started happening, chipping away at it.
And a lot of times, like I said, the ancestors and the children don't want to maintain the land. They want to move away because I've got a friend whose great-grandfather bought this land in Mississippi, a town called Starkville, Mississippi.
Okay.
And the land is still a part of the family, but now many of the ancestors, the children, the grandchildren want to start selling it off. And they had all this lumber, there's trees on it, and they want to sell it off so they can sell the trees because people want to buy all the lumber and stuff. And they're trying to, there's a faction of the family who are trying to save it and then not do that, hold on to it. There's other kids, young kids saying, I want the money, that I'm going to sell my part. And so I'm sure, there are lots of families that are going through that kind of piece. Starkville, Mississippi, a friend of mine whose family is there and her cousin still lives there, but because you got to live on the land, she goes back and stays there.
Right.
But I don't know if you know John James and the James family.
Yes.
He is such a great guy. The transportation, that's where he's from.
Starkville. Really? Okay. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a really good guy.
I know people got stories like that, that somebody, kept up the taxes on it. That was the catch. You got to keep up the taxes.
Piece.
Yeah,
that's
if
right.
you don't do that, you're going to lose it too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're going to lose it. And I even cite in the book some of the things, unscrupulous things they do, because back in the day, I understand a lot of black folks didn't have a driver's license ID. So they said, you got no ID. You can't, how you going to say this your land? So we take it, boom. Or some of them, passed down from one family members to another, and then they had records in the courthouse. Come up, the record's missing.
Courthout burned down.
Yeah, something happened, and we lost them. They might have just told them they in the trash. You know what I mean? Let me tell you, we deep in the South. So who you go? What you gonna do?
And, and the interesting part about that is that there are more black folks in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana than in anywhere up north. And they don't have any black representation.
Oh, yeah. I knew you was going there.
Oh, that's the piece true. That gets me.
Oh, man. It's a lot to that backstory.
That's the piece. That's really what we need to work on.
Yeah. And I mean, and just like what you just said, there were towns or states, I should say, in I think it was Mississippi and South Carolina. It's all in the book, everybody. Just get the book. But in Mississippi and South Carolina, they had more enslaved black folks than anybody. I'm talking about white folks included. It was like 60% of the population in the state was enslaved.
Yes.
And what happened was, and this only makes sense. I own a plantation. I got, me, my wife, my 2, 4, 5 kids or whatever, and my brother and his cousin, all of them live here. We got 400 enslaved people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can see that number it was so many more of us.
Right. Yes.
And that was the population thing. And I even do a population breakdown in the book so y'all can see. And then, the book is good. Shoot, I'm looking at it from over here.
Looking really good.
Did a darn good job. I'm on a Christian radio station. It's darn good job with that book. Man. So, that's what I'm doing. So I was like, to go back to the beginning, I guess it was Florida, and then it was the play, and then it was the Durfield Library this past Saturday. And then it was tomorrow is Wayne County Community College, Eastern
Do
Campus.
you get a lot of young people at those events?
It was and I don't know about, do I look at the population or who it is? Not, it depends on where it is too, I understand, but maybe not.
Because one of my big concerns is our young people don't know the history.
Yeah.
And we have got to find a way to get it to them, because they're not going to get it in schools. Schools are not teaching this kind of stuff. They're not, but we've got to find a way to get it to them. And my thought is that we got to get back to what churches used to do.
Yeah.
That's where the history should.
Yeah,
it's going to have to. That's where we're taught. So we've got to find a way to get back to history.
Yeah.
In our churches.
Well, it's funny you say that, because as a lady, I always give her a shout out, and I got to think of her name. Boy, I'm crazy today, but she's down in Florida. She got a group called Faith in Florida, and that's what she did. She got 500 churches to sign up to specifically do what they can to teach the history, and she put a curriculum together, so on and so forth. What's crazy about it? She's a minister, right? She said she got death threats.
Oh, I'm sure.
She said at her church, I got an armed guard every Sunday
I am sure. Isn't that
for
amazing?
doing this work. Maybe I'm glad I don't say her name, but it's called, the organization is called Faith in Florida.
Well, that is what I want to do here. I want to find a way to get our churches involved, and every week at somebody's church, we're talking about these kinds of things. Oh, man. We're talking about the history of our people.
Yeah.
We're telling young people and a whole lot of old people about the history, because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. I want to keep alive Royal Oak Township right here in our state, in our city area. And a lot of people don't know about Royal Oak Township,
right?
And that whole little community
right there outside of Ferndale is more so off 8 Mile.
8 Mile in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Between 8 Mile and 8.5 Mile. Projects. That's where I grew up.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, George Washington Carver Elementary School.
Yes,
all black teachers.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And we need to keep those kinds of things alive so that people understand that you might have this today, but you didn't get it on your own. You got it because there were some folks who came before you.
That's what I talk about.
Some people that came before you.
That's what I talk about, everybody.
That did things so that you can get what you have now.
That's right.
And that's what we have to keep alive. And I want to be able to have our churches be the impetus for doing that. And have it.
You got your hands full, because they trying to cut the service down to 20 minutes.
I know.
Well, you can't stay in the church. So people get there, they're looking at the clock in half an hour.
I know.
I wish
we got classrooms in churches.
That's a good idea.
But there are people who would come to hear this.
I get people to come out and see me.
People would come to hear the history. They would come to hear this. I had a young lady a couple of weeks ago talk about genealogy, Carolyn Carter.
Yeah.
Talk about genealogy.
She's on the program at Wayne County.
Wayne County and Wayne State. And our people, particularly our children, need to hear this and need to know.
Yeah.
Because if we don't tell it, it'll die.
Well, what's crazy about it. The other part is I am talking to some of the people for the books or whatever, for different things. A lot of the grandparents don't want to talk about it. We get some of that too.
Absolutely, it's painful.
That's something to that extent. Yeah, the painfulness of it, or
it's painful. They're shamed in some cases. All of that.
He says it's all those things, and so hopefully, some of them will want to loosen up the grip on it. And
even if they don't want to talk about it, it's written.
Yeah.
It's written.
Yeah.
It is written. It's written, everybody. It's written. Get the books. Get the books. It's written. So it isn't like you have to go and ask somebody about it.
It's on YouTube.
You can read it. It's
not my books, but that history is on YouTube. A lot of people, they got shows. I got a show. My show is on YouTube.
The history is there.
It's on YouTube.
We need to. I want to find a way to get churches a lot more engaged in sharing the history and keeping the history alive and making sure the young folks know the history and know from whence they come.
Well, I got another
and how strong they really are.
I got another one for you. February 28th. Do y'all know about WGPR, right? The radio station, TV station, first black owned in America. So
down on Jefferson.
Down on Jefferson, here in Detroit.
Yeah, there's a museum.
They got a museum now.
Yes.
And we got a program there. and I'm on the panel.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
February 28th at 5 o'clock, free.
Mhm.
And a
Okay.
bunch of radio personalities, including Frankie Darcell.
Really?
She's
Okay.
coming back for this.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm sure it's going to turn into some love for her.
Oh,
being
absolutely.
gone. But
Absolutely.
it's others that have been in the
Mhm.
industry a long time.
Mhm.
It's I think 5 to 8, 5 to 9. Little food,
Mhm.
make a donation to the
Mhm.
museum. But
On the
I mean,
28th,
it's
I'll
free
have to
to come to
remember
that.
that. I'll have to
And
remember
there's a
that.
lot of free stuff when we
Mhm.
talk about the young adults. I mean, there was a ton of things for Kwanzaa,
Mhm.
throughout the city, not just at the museum,
Yep.
but other places. You got to seek it out. Got to seek out the book.
Mhm.
Got to say, I'm gonna buy one, pull the money
Absolutely.
out your pocket or
Absolutely.
whatever. That
Absolutely.
takes something. But people like us and you having this show and this platform gives it to somebody to see and say, okay, I it's time for me to do something
That's
like
right.
that.
That's
And,
right.
and
We need to
seek 'em
keep
out.
it alive. We need
Yeah,
to
keep it
the
alive.
history alive.
So I like your effort. I mean, in the church, I'm sure that you'll find many of them that will agree
Yeah.
with
Well,
some pushing.
that's
You know what I mean?
That's gonna be one of my 2026 goals.
Yeah.
Is to try and get our churches to start. Even if it's only once a month, I'd like it to be once a week. But if it's only once a month,
Sure.
some church has a
Sure.
program about history of
Sure.
the African American in this country.
Yeah. We got a couple old churches here, just sidebar from the books, and one, Second Baptist.
Oh, absolutely.
Being an Underground Railroad escape route.
Yes.
They have an enactment of that in the
Mhm.
basement. So does the one on Woodward and Forest.
Congregational.
Yeah,
Yep.
First Congregational.
Mhm.
Everybody, you in the city, go to those.
Yep.
And the First Congregational really does a real good enactment.
Yes,
go
they
down
do. I mean,
there.
they have the
The
costumes
actors and
they have the
stuff.
whole
Yeah.
kit. The
And you see
attire
the
and all
slave
of it.
routes and
Mhm.
stuff. At least give you an idea what it was like.
Mhm.
And I like all that kind of stuff. It's been a passion for a few years now. I got some few spots. I got to go to this one in Kansas City, Kansas, called Quindaro.
Okay.
It's on I called the lady yesterday because I was supposed to go a few years ago and COVID hit, and all it was canceled. And it just hadn't lost my mind, but it's probably one of America's largest underground railroads.
Really?
Yeah. See, because there's a Kansas City, Kansas, and a Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes, I know.
And the Missouri was the slave side.
Yes.
And it's just a little water. I don't know how wide it is.
It's like right across the street.
It's right across the street.
Yes, I've been there.
You can swim over there.
I've been there.
You can swim over there and not get shot or something like that.
Yes.
You can be over in this area called Quindale. It's right on the water.
Yep.
It was a black neighborhood, and I talk about them in the book, and I got to go see it. It's just a park now, but still, nonetheless.
And they have the Baseball Hall of Fame in Kansas City.
Oh, that's right,
Missouri.
That's right. Yeah.
And I've
Negro
been
baseball.
There. Negro baseball. Yes, I've seen that. Been there. Played golf there. So yeah. And so, but I'm just real pleased that we were able to. So thank you so much for making the time to come and talk about this. I want people to hear about all the research you do and all the work you do and all the facts. This is made up stuff, folks. This is real stuff.
Yeah, I had somebody say, you telling the truth in this book? I was like, no,
these
man.
are facts.
I gave you the reference where I found them.
These are facts.
You can, everything in there you can Google. Just do what I did. Just Google it. And then say, hey, this is
right.
The true history.
That's
so
right.
I appreciate you having me on the show. One thing, man, I say,
absolutely.
And my website, hey, check me out, everybody, at businessintheblack.net.
Businessintheblack.net.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
check me
Anthony,
out
everybody.
Yep.
Check him out.
Yeah.
And if you need food, everybody, New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, every Saturday at 10 o'clock, we're giving away food baskets, food boxes with all kinds of good stuff. So if you need it, just come in and get it. We started this past Saturday. We'll be doing it every Saturday. New Prospect is on the corner of Livernois and Pembroke. Just celebrated our 100th anniversary last year. New pastor, Reverend M. Andrew Davis. He's dynamic. He's wonderful. He's doing all sorts of great things. So, but if you need something, come get it on Saturdays at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. And if you don't need it, get it for somebody else. There's somebody else who needs it. So be sure you're there. We appreciate you. Thank you again for my special guest this afternoon, Mr. Anthony. Thank you so much.
Oh, man. Thank you. I tell you.
I'll see you next Monday at 4 o'clock, Community Bell Show. Be there.
Have a good time, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
What's up, everybody? This is Larry Whitfield, station manager of WVTC Radio Detroit. I need you to save the date, Friday, March 27, 2026. My big sister, Evangelist Sandy Rose, will be celebrating her birthday and 50 years. Gospel music. Remember, Friday, March 27, 2026. Save the date. Don't miss it.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.